day off. Everything's gone crazy, and I hope everybody's having a restful.
Go out. It's not too deep as the ocean goes deep.
I'm talking about my son's life. And I'm talking about the lives of other black kids. Do what the hell you want to do. Go ahead. But you can't silence me. But you are not going to silence me.
We know that the government is running.
Proven guilty! Due process!
Due process!
Due process!
Due process!
Wellness check!
Hey everybody, I'm your host, Texas Black Diamond, and thank you for tuning in to Texas Black Diamond ENT. If you like, let me know if y'all can hear me. Please let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. I'm going to be sitting in the car. We promised our glam baby that we were going to take her to see fireworks. I'm going to be sitting in the car with my maid. I know y'all told me to relax, but y'all keep sending me stuff. And it just raised questions. I just had to question. There, you sound far away. Okay, I guess I'll check this out and just tell me how it sounds. Is that better? I don't, I'm on my laptop and I have not used it in so long, so I'm scared to touch anything. I feel like I would be messing up something. Let me see. I don't know what the heck. I'm not gonna mess with anything. So how's the sound? Okay, better. Okay. I caught myself trying to put the earpiece in so you won't hear the thing. What's up, everybody? Happy holidays to y'all. I always been happy to extend the day off, just, you resting. But I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. I don't want to say anything to, hurt people, feelings. I try to, have laughter and be funny about things, and sometimes people take it, the wrong way. I don't mean it. Why my mouth is the sound is breaking it. Oh Lord, yeah, the sound breaking it. What y'all want me to do? I don't know what the hell it is. It's probably my damn dead ass throat. I don't know. Because I wanted to show y'all this video. Okay, let me show y'all this video and then I'll just go to the other, another device. I don't know. I don't feel the touch. I don't want to touch nothing. Let me just go to the video real quick and let me know how it sounds with the video.
6 hours a day. Have a key swab. I can walk into his apartment when I get ready. I take his phone at will. I go through his phone. I'm with it. Half time he's not even there. He's playing basketball or at the cigar lounge. Things that he likes to calm his mind. Those young ladies come freely. I'm there.
New York prosecutors say an alleged crisis manager of R. Kelly bribed the Cook County, Illinois clerk with $2,500 to obtain inside information on the rapper's legal situation after the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly came out. The finding was revealed in court documents Friday, in which prosecutors asked to bring up multiple uncharged crimes at trial next month to help establish a motive for his alleged behavior. In the filing, federal prosecutors provided different documentation to support their claims, including an audio recording reportedly obtained from R. Kelly's phone between him and the alleged crisis manager. In it, the crisis manager said he knew people who could tip them off on Kelly's charges if he could figure out what you could do for them. Kelly allegedly responded, "What you do, man, is write something on a piece of paper and give me what I should tip the bailiff. What I should tip the valet." The crisis manager is said to have later admitted to paying the clerk $2,500 and supplying them with a burner phone to inform them of any potential charges.
He was already mad at me because he claims that somebody told him, or he got his hands on something that basically, because he claims that he got some type of audio, and he said that I was trying, well, basically I told Rob the stuff that he was saying when he sent, what's the fake crisis manager's name? Darrell Johnson. He was like, oh, you told him about Darrell Johnson, you told him about Mason, because, he did have people infiltrate the camp. He was dealing with people around, and like I said, I've never seen Rob do shit.
Okay, listen. You know that I talked to Angela now. You got to get rid of Mason, and you have to get rid of this public, because they are working with Avenatti. This was a whole this jail team thing. They knew about this from weeks ago, they've been planning this. I know you don't probably want to listen to me, but please, you cannot let him do this interview on Monday. All this stuff is a plan to just rip you apart and make shit worse.
Cannot let who do an interview?
This Darrell Johnson guy. The guy who's supposed to be the publicist or whatever.
Rip me apart how?
Get you away.
Rip me apart how?
It's just all things. I don't know.
No. Just be specific. Be specific. Rip me apart how?
I don't know the how.
Okay, I want you to find out. I want you to find out how and let me know.
Okay.
Let me know.
He was saying that when he was sending people in to infiltrate Rob's camp, he was saying that when he was sending people in to infiltrate Rob's camp, he was saying that when he was sending people in to infiltrate Rob's camp, that I told him the things that he was telling me. So he was already mad at me from days before that. He just kind of went off the handle saying that I told Rob everything that he told me, because he knows that his hands are dirty. He's done a lot of foul shit that he shouldn't have been doing. And I think at this point, with authorities being involved in all of this stuff, he just wants to keep everything quiet that he's done. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if he'll get in trouble. I don't know what the deal is, but I know it's not right.
Now, if I was a judge, me personally, and I thought a guy was a known pedophile over the last 30 years, why is probation even on the table? If this guy is a known pedophile, if he's holding these people hostage, why have the doors be kicked in?
Well, I mean, I think that's a legal process. I don't think that speaks to guilt or innocence.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if a judge over these years thought that this is what it was, you got enough to indict, just have zero bond.
Yeah.
Well, if it was me, I wouldn't want to work with him. You don't kick a dog down when he's down. So if Mr. Kelly is found innocent, y'all coming at me as if I have your daughter. I don't work for Mr. Kelly. I work for Mr. Stephen Greenberg. Y'all coming at me as if I have your daughter. I don't work for Mr. Kelly. I work for Mr. Stephen Greenberg. I have a 21-year-old. Oh, wow. Listen to me. I have a 21-year-old. I would drive that truck in that hotel if my daughter's in there. That's what I would do. I would drive that truck and I'd get her if it's my daughter.
R. Kelly's former crisis manager, Darrell Johnson, yesterday on a third-degree aggregate theft charge. He's accused of defrauding two people out of tens of thousands of dollars. But now more people are coming forward with new claims, including a family who says they were scammed out of millions. Our Sion Rhodes is live downtown now, where those accusers met with prosecutors today. Sion?
And Chris, Darrell Johnson's scheduled first court appearance today was waived under Harris County Court COVID protocol, so he wasn't here. But several people who claimed they were scammed by him did show up. A group of strangers turned allies, united in their efforts to get justice.
He's a con artist.
He manipulates the situation by preying on your vulnerability.
Cola Lewis is one of two people who filed charges against former R. Kelly crisis manager Darrell Johnson for defrauding them out of $50,000 in schemes involving crisis management and real estate
services that were then never rendered, and the money was never returned to the victims.
Today, more alleged victims met with Harris County prosecutors, hoping to have their cases investigated.
He's taken over $2 million from my dad.
Mindy Howard says Johnson is her 77-year-old father's neighbor.
For the past 4 or 5 years, he's just kind of worked his way into my father's trust. It's devastating. I mean, it's destroying our family to see everything that he's worked for being stolen out from under him with all of these lies.
Thanksgiving's, Christmas together all the time.
Yahtzee Luchin has known Johnson for more than 20 years. His cousin is Johnson's wife.
Based on that family connection, it made it easy for me to be a believer in what he presented to me.
Luchin says he invested $60,000 in a real estate flip with Johnson that never materialized.
No deal, no money. I'm not worried about the money. I know I'm not going to get the money back. This needs to come to a stop and needs to be stopped now before there are other victims.
Now, Johnson is required to appear in court on Monday for a hearing on his bond conditions. The prosecutor telling me she plans to ask the judge that Johnson surrender his passport, that she will place travel restrictions upon him, and also that he prohibited from acting as a financial manager of any kind, accepting, soliciting money, and using it for any sort of real estate or other investments. Now, the Harris County DA's office says their investigation here is ongoing, along with a separate investigation from the HPD White Collar Task Force. Both agencies say they'd like to hear from any other possible victims who could be.
Something's just not right, you guys. How's my sound? And I just want to, let me see how my sound. I swear, I'm finna get off this.
Breaking news tonight on several fronts. The Uvalde school police chief with a dramatic announcement late.
I'm about to get off this because I hear the fan in the background, and so I don't like using the laptop. And I'm gonna try to move over. Something ain't right. Let's go. That sound aggravating, right? Yeah, that sound. I'm gonna switch over. I just wanted y'all to hear. Aggravating, right? I wanted y'all to hear that. I just wanted y'all to go back and reminisce on old dude and these people, and I want y'all to understand why I decided to come on here. I told y'all, do not send me nothing if y'all want me to read, because when y'all send me stuff, I go to listen to stuff, and then I'm like, oh my God. But let me switch my butt over. Jump on in here. But y'all see the ceiling for now, so I can know which one I need to get out of. Okay. Now, test it out. This here. Okay. Okay. There we go. And this thing is hot as fire. Gosh. But I want y'all to hear this. Someone sent me a link. I was like, okay, let me listen to it. Let me hear what Mr. Andrew Wyatt has to say. And I'm just gonna tell you, I don't care how nobody feel, because everybody in their feelings, everybody has their own opinions and things like that. You know, but the person that's been giving me this information has been telling nothing but the truth. So now I can't help but to not have any doubts with this person, because this person tried to come out and warn everybody about Durham Johnson, and tried to warn you about this person and that person. And I'm going to let y'all hear it. And then you guys give me your opinions on it. Because I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet today. Because I promised my glam baby will be hearing all these popping things up in the air. I'm going to be sitting in the car reclining while they out watching the fireworks. But I'm going to play it. And shout out to Mr. Wyatt and the blogger. I think her name is, I have to get her information in a minute, and then you guys can watch it to the entirety. But I just want y'all to hear this very part and make me question the people around him, and make me think of some things. I'm like, this is really, really crazy, because all these people known, and even you had high profile people telling them this information. And so, Mr. Wyatt, and I want to give a shout out to Mr. Andrew Wyatt. Thank you for confirming what this person been saying to me, and I've been telling the public about, that's been really criticizing this person. So, Mr. Andrew really, really clarified what this guy was saying. So let me go ahead and play it, because it just, honey, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I'm annoyed.
In Santa Monica, but look, the deck is stacked against him. We talked off the air. I had been helping R. Kelly's family and friends out for over 5+ years, and I remember when the allegations first started against him. And his previous attorney, Steve Greenberg, reached out to one of our former attorneys, Monique Presley, out of Washington, D.C., and said that this guy, Darrell Johnson, was shopping himself to Robert Kelly, asking Robert to bring him on as crisis manager. That he had been the crisis manager for Bill Cosby. I got in touch with Steve Greenberg and through Monique, and I said, that's not true. I've been the only person on this team. And of course, Robert, gave this guy the green light. And he, in my opinion, Darrell Johnson was a part of the regime to destroy Robert. Right. And was the one that, from my understanding, there was some money traded under the table to get him to allow Robert to sit down with Gayle King. And that infamous interview where Gayle sat there and made Robert look like King Kong, and she was the distressed Black woman. It was all a common planning scheme, because they wanted to show him as a violent, unhinged Black man. Who went after.
Was he unhinged? Because why would he was crying, he stood up, he was very dramatic. Like, did his handlers tell him to be dramatic?
No, I think those were real emotions. But First off, I tried to stop that interview. I reached out and tried to reach out to Robert's, the close people in his circle, and told them, look, please don't allow him to do that interview. What people don't know is that through the efforts of Oprah and Gail, CBS, who's owned by Viacom, has done a partnership with Time's Up and the Me Too movement. And, he was going in enemy's territory. And he didn't realize it because this litmus test was started with us on how to take down a successful Black man with no evidence of proof. And no one listened because there were legal bills that needed to be paid. And from my understanding, there was like $160,000 funneled to Darrell Johnson on the behest of Robert. And Robert never got to see any of the money. And that was the beginning of his end. Because if you remember, after that interview, not probably weeks later, he was picked up by the feds while outside of the Trump Towers, smoking a cigar, walking his dog. Look, I remember, calling Robert. I had, at the time, Tom Mesereau went and met with him. I arranged for them to meet, and he was in custody at the time. But before he was in custody, I reached out to Robert through FaceTime, and what I tried to explain to him and even his handlers is that if Hugh Hefner had to leave Chicago in the 60s where the original Playboy Mansion was founded, what makes you think a Black man in the 21st century is going to be the Black Hugh Hefner? Also, stand in the Trump Towers when Donald Trump wasn't the most liked man in America, like president in America, with two young Black women. And I like to say women, not girls, but women who made a choice. But,
Well, I wanna go back a little bit because he was sentenced. I'm not gonna sit up here and say he's completely innocent because it's a difference when we're talking about the justice system, right? Because I asked the question: does the punishment?
Okay, well, let me pause. He mentioned some names, and I was trying to find the transcript, but he mentioned one person name. And I wanted to find it because before I say anything else on that person's name, but do y'all remember? So, okay, you have Bill Cosby. Matter of fact, Bill Cosby spoke to Robert, and that's what I'm trying to look for. I'm trying to get to that part. They spoke to Bill Cosby, actually spoke to Robert. Um, and you remember when I was, it was like a lot of stuff I wanted to say, but I just couldn't say. But they were working with Robert from the beginning. Well, I was gonna play the whole part, but I was trying to find the key points. But basically, he corrected her when she was saying that, and of course, you guys have to understand, in order for these people to keep their fan base, they have to seem like, okay, I'm not trying to be all for him, but also I'm trying to talk about, the legal system here in the RICO Act system. So, basically she was trying to keep it balanced on her platform. So I do understand her on that, because with us, we'll be like, try to keep certain things, speak on it a little bit and leave it alone, but we'll speak on key points on Robert's behalf, but that's not her job. So that's why we are here, to come in and have our discussion on it. Okay. So Oh, okay. To get him. Okay, there was some money traded. I'm trying to find a part where he called and tried to stop it as well as someone else. So they told Greenberg. So if this man lied and tried to make it like he was part of Bill Cosby's camp as the spokesperson, and you have Andrew Wyatt telling Greenberg, no, I don't know this man. So then they started doing their research on him, and they reached out to the camp and told them, no, do not allow him to sit with Gail King. Do not allow him to be any part of Oprah or Gail King. Gail King, Oprah, okay, in that order. I guess I have to say in an alphabetical order. And so I was told about this. So they was like, okay, once Robert got in trouble, they locked him up and everything. Um, I'll just say allegedly, Bill Cosby's wife said, well, okay, first of all, let's go ahead and I have to work with my husband first and get this situated, and we're gonna have to, wait to see what they're gonna, the appellate court is gonna say about him, and then we're gonna, work with him, which it was already told to me. And that's why I was like, it's a lot of stuff I want to say. I just can't say it because when you show your hand, you see what's going on, in the YouTube streets and everywhere else where they try to sabotage everything. And when this person told me about Thomas, they had Thomas, they're like, yeah. So the person actually, when Mr. Andrew sent Thomas to talk to Robert, the person that was telling me that actually drove him there so they could meet up with Robert. And I don't know what happened, and I don't know if it was the money situation. I don't know what it was, but I don't know who was in Robert's ear, to get him to, it's like, trust the demons, these demonic spirits. And but you had a person that was trying to stop it. But Greenberg wasn't sitting there, y'all. He was there. Remember, I told y'all it was three people in that house before that interview confirming what all went down, and everybody had the same details. Greenberg came in, talked to Gail King, shook Gail King's hand, left, went over to DR and kept him occupied to keep him from going upstairs. The girls, they wasn't there when she was having a at first. They wasn't there at first when they was having a conversation, Robert and Gail. That's when she was asking them about the Christmas tree and all this and that. That's who I'm trying to figure out who was in his ear, because what I was told, and I'm just gonna say alleged. I'm gonna reach out to someone and make sure and see if I can confirm this. But they said they even reached out. They was like, Keith is his, childhood friends. They real close. Let him know about Darrell Johnson. You know, and so that's when this person got desperate enough to reach out to Cash Jones. This person reached out to Cass Jones. Maybe he will listen to a female a little better. Please tell Robert this man meant him no good. It's a trap. So I'm like, Robert didn't listen to Andrew, who was in his ear. So let me find that part and then I'm gonna push it on there. Okay, this is it right here.
Did his handlers tell him to like be dramatic?
No, I think those were really emotions. But you know, first off, I tried to stop that interview. I reached out and tried to reach out to Robert's, the close people in his circle, and told them, look, please don't allow him to do that interview. What people don't know is that through the efforts of Oprah and Gail, CBS, who's owned by Viacom, has done a partnership with Time's Up and the Me Too movement. And, you know, he was going in enemy's territory. And he didn't realize it because this litmus test was started with us on how to take down a successful black man with no evidence of proof.
Okay, so did y'all hear this? I'm finna find it when Bill Cosby spoke with Robert. So, okay, people was coming at my throat when I was showing y'all these videos about the dirty attorneys and all that. I was told a lot of stuff, okay? And I just was like, okay, let me sit back and watch some things because you want to question things. You want to question things because I was like, why are they so hard on this one certain person that was trying to stop certain things and that was going on and warning Robert about everything that was going on? Why would they try to stop this one person? And see, y'all did not understand why I was so um just what you would call it, um headstrong and fighting for this guy, because everything started adding up. All I did was listen, and I'll write it down and then I'll listen. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to say anything about this. Let me see if it go down the way these people saying it's gonna go down. Okay. And so who was the person? Okay. It couldn't have been the person that they was trying to block, that was trying to stop everything. So this person said, well, damn it, nobody's not listening. Maybe if I just come out here into the public and put it out there in the public, maybe somebody will listen to me. But they were fighting so hard to stop this person from getting that truth out there. So that video that I was doing, and when I was telling people about Darrell Johnson, Greenberg, and all these people, people was getting mad, and that's his attorney and stuff like that. But you have Mr. Andrew Wyatt tell you this man is a con artist. So why would you have this man by your side? Why would you leave? And another question, you guys have to be real. How many people that was in a situation, you got people trying to get you indicted, and you got all these allegations over your head? Did you hear? You heard when Andrew Wyatt, and I told people, I said Robert knew he was being investigated for a while. So did you hear Mr. Andrew Wyatt say that they was working with Robert when all these allegations came out? Did y'all hear that? So somebody was in that camp working. And at the same time, you have the discovery, right? And people wouldn't listen to me. I'm like, do not poke the bear. I said, don't y'all know that girl is on that list as a Jane Doe? I said, Azriel is a Jane Doe. I'm like, why is she still in this man's house? So, question again, why Greenberg didn't try to get this lady out of this man's house? He said 5 years. Y'all remember? They come out, no, she's still in the home. If the all the people that's been following me for a while, and I kept saying, don't poke the bear, y'all, because that girl is one of the Jane Does. No, she not. She in the home with him. Why is she in the home? That's the question I asked. Why is she in the home? Okay. Why she was in that home? Why they allow a person that can get this man's phone? Y'all remember I was telling y'all about the female, the male that they were saying, this one that they were trying to put them allegations out there that he is messing around with men's boys. And I looked at the date. I remember that. I did a screenshot. I said, y'all, I said that girl went into that man's stuff and she put that out there. Where that guy at? The one that had them allegations, why he wasn't on the witness stand? Y'all have to ask yourself that question. Ask yourself about Angelo and all these accounts that Cash Jones said he had. So people talking about the guy that was trying to help Robert reaching out. He needed the information. I need to see what the hell going on, and I need Cash to get up in there and see what's going on. Right? So it make you scratch your head. Like, what the hell going on here? What kind of circus he got? But I'm going to tell y'all, Robert has no friend. And y'all get mad at me when I say what I say. He has no friends. Because those friends, just like Will Eady, when he came out to come after our throat, bloggers and supporters, Keith, all these people could have stopped a lot of shit from going on that was sabotaging their buddy. That's my opinion. I don't care what nobody say about me, but when I don't, like I said, I don't deal all my cards out. I don't do all this stuff for commentary and have a content and be the first one to say it. I don't. Like I kept telling you guys, this is this man's life. And a lot of people was playing a game with this man's life. Close people. And you have to ask yourself this here. You got the main person, one of the main people that say is his friend. Can somebody tell me, did Will Eady write a letter for him? Why would you post? That's why I kept telling you guys, Will Eady never mentioned Robert's name when they went to New York. Didn't nobody have a clue? Nobody had a clue if they didn't know a Will Eady, who he was, what they was in New York for. It was a photo op, and you taking pictures showing that y'all was at the mall. That was the last place you should have been. They should have been taking money, that money that they went to get tennis shoes or whatever they went shopping for, to help fly people there to testify on Robert's behalf. But no, the very people that he talked about was the ones that were willing to drive, the ones that was willing to up their ticket so he can get those people to be on that witness stand for him. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all didn't understand a lot of stuff that I was saying, but everybody was trying to go down my throat. Everybody was trying to say I didn't know what I was talking about. And all I was trying to do was deliver the facts. And he had rotten people around him, y'all. Rotten people.
And a lot of people probably enjoying themselves now. A lot of people shopping, getting what they want. And don't y'all know a lot of the people didn't want to even testify on his behalf because they was upset because they went on his last couple of tours or concerts or shows or whatever, and they didn't get paid. And they mad because they said he gave it to the women, and they don't give a damn. Yeah, I don't understand. A lot of stuff that I knew, I just couldn't put it out there because I see how dirty people was being out here. And I'm like, just give it to who can you trust? It got to the point where people was like, even in Don Russell's head, and had this man afraid to even deal with me because he felt like he didn't trust me. They was trying to make it like I was the one that did this indictment thing on him. I'm like, Don, come on now. Really? I am the one that told you from the beginning, and a whole lot of them, don't trust no one, not even me. But really, I never played a recording on you. I never did anything like that. I don't have recording. Only time I record, it, is when I say, okay, that's a lot of information, let me record it. And I let you know. But some things happen in mysterious ways, and it came through Andrew Wyatt. So let me find where he said, Mr. Cosby. Okay.
No one listened because there were legal bills that needed to be paid, and from my understanding, there was like $160,000 funneled to Darrell Johnson on the behest of Robert, and Robert never got to see any of the money. And that was the beginning of his end, because if you remember, after that interview, not probably weeks later, he was picked up by the feds while outside of the Trump Towers, smoking a cigar, walking his dog. Look, I remember, calling Robert. And I had, at the time, Tom Mesereau went and met with him. I arranged for them to meet, and he was in custody at the time. But before he was in custody, I reached out to Robert through FaceTime. And what I tried to explain to him and even his handlers is that if Hugh Hefner had to leave Chicago in the 60s where the original Playboy Mansion was founded, what makes you think a black man in the 21st century is going to be the black Hugh Hefner? Also, stand in the Trump Towers when Donald Trump wasn't the most liked man in America, like president in America, with two young black women. And I like to say women, not girls, but women who made a choice. But,
Well, I wanna.
Okay. I'm trying to find Bill Cosby part. The young lady was like, what made her look at stuff kind of different is when you know, he was acquitted back in 2008 for the 2002 indictment. He she was like, and then it was a big gap back in 2017. And so, you know, Mr. Wyatt started talking about his publishing, owning his publishing. And then that's when like all hell has broken loose. Um, Robert started finding out he was broke. That's why Robert was doing a lot of shows, and he was taking gigs, and it didn't matter what kind of gigs he would take. He would take them, you know, even if it was at a party, like at a club, showing up at a club at a party. You know, he took whatever he could because it was like a money issue. You know, um, and so I'm gonna share her video. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna post it on my community board. Um, and I knew that they was gonna come. The Cosby camp was gonna be more vocal. I was like, I can't really say nothing right now, but some certain people heard it. I told in the background, and I have witnesses that I did speak about the Cosbys um, earlier. Welcome to the chat, y'all. Sorry that I got emotional, but it really hurt because, like, everything that this person was telling me is like everything has come to pass, and it's just not fair. It's not fair what he's going through. It's not fair what Robert's going through. I'm just not mentioning his name. Um, and that was really bad because it's like they didn't want any. I told him, I said, they don't want anybody on your side. They don't want anybody fighting for you also. But I understand, I get it. You know, if you don't trust me, then, you know, I will pray for you from a distance, but I will always support you, and I'll always um, be there for you. Okay. So I'm trying to find Bill Cosby. Good grief. Okay. Um,
What is this really about? Is it about a guy who was fighting to take control of his catalog? You know, because how is it that you can bring him up on all these charges, but you don't bring forward any of the record executives who was complicit in helping him?
That was on my list of questions.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I hate to, you know.
No, because what I want to say, who else should be accountable? Because I have a problem with that. Where are the parents, first of all? Where are the music execs, the music industry?
Good friend of mine, William Tanky Sims, he's since passed away. Tanky, fraternity brother of mine. I met Tanky. Tanky was the head accountant on the Prince tours. He was a part of R. Kelly tours. He promoted Tanky. I was at a lot of R. Kelly shows back in the day. Another good friend of mine, Carl Ellis out of Chicago. Carl Ellis and Regina Daniels, George and Regina Daniels, they're good friends of mine. Regina, who R. Kelly mentions in his Steppers album. Regina was his publicist at the time. I watched at backstage at Robert shows of mothers who would make their daughters take their underwear off, you know, young daughters, and say, hey, you know, mothers. Now, I'm not talking about young girls that's backstage in order to entice Robert, because.
And now you see that that's another witness, right? That's why I always ask y'all this question. That's why I always put it on there. 1 second, y'all.
Here's your reminder. Take medication.
Okay.
I have to have it remind me to take my medication.
Here's your reminder. Take medication.
Okay. I need to. Even Alexa telling me to calm down. To take my medication. Um, y'all remember I was talking to you guys, about the off brands. Off brands. I said, why do they have these off brands on the witness stand? Because it's like everybody was in this. Everybody was paid off and things like that. Allegedly Nicole was supposed to have been brought in by Dream Hampton friend, and a judge. And the judge calling, pretending like she this and she that, and all these people was working together. That's why I put that up there. Yeah, you're right, Dennis. He didn't. But I just wanted to leave that on the note, you guys. They were speaking on this man shouldn't be brought up on charges, of something that was last, that he was acquitted on. And that's why I argue with the attorneys in the government in Chicago. Because at the same time, if they really wanted Rashonda Landfair and her parents there, they could have subpoenaed them. He didn't pay nobody out. They was right there in plain sight. That group was going across seas doing shows, making their money. They wasn't on no vacation. They said that the family was on vacation. That's what they planning out there to the public, that his family, that he paid this family off. He threatened the family. Which one happened? Did he threaten them or did he pay them? So if this happened, who why parents ain't in jail? Okay. So y'all gotta look at it. Why the parents are not in jail? Why one person in jail? Why they had all these Mickey? Oh, sorry, y'all. Hold up, Mickey. Uh, okay. Why they had all these off-brand people on the witness stand? You had somebody from New York, like, who in the hell is this? He talking about some music. I don't. I'm like, why y'all gotta look for people to come out there? You had Will Edie out there. You had Keith out there. You had Rocky out there. You had them so-called mentors out there that would claim to be out there. What was these people? See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I posted that about the Cunningham girl, um, Aaliyah and her family. Bobby. Yeah, Bobby. That's what I meant to say, Bobby. I don't know if Rocky was out there, but I know Bobby was out there. Why they didn't get on the stand? Ask them the kind of questions you want to ask. Why would you have a person from New York, this half breed guy that wanted 5 minutes of fame, to get on the stand? Something ain't right with that, y'all. I see some effery going on, and I don't care what nobody say. Everything has come to pass. And I'm gonna have to reach out. I'm gonna reach back out. I just want to know who was talked to, who was warned, who was in that circle. I know. I just need them to verify it for me. I just need two more people to verify what the person told me, because everything he said came to pass. Y'all, this hurts my soul.
It's that much hatred. You know how it is when just like in school, you see the most popular girl in school or the most popular guy, and you envy them. You don't have that look, or you don't have, nobody clinging, or you not well known, or you're not popular, and you envying this person, and you want to cut them with your eyes. You hate them so bad and don't even know them like that. Or you have people in your group that feel like they deserve more than you. They're just like the people that put the lights up for Robert. Y'all travel, y'all were backstage. And they were like, Robert owe a lot of people, but he took care of them women. But look what them women did. So they decided to, like, I'm going to step back. I ain't going to talk against them. I ain't going to talk for them. And I said, that's effed up. It's really effed up. Because if you a friend, you going to be there. Like I said, it's a saying I told little Troy. Little Troy said, I'm tired of feeding these niggas. I'm tired of doing this and that. I ain't got it like that no more. I said, just tell them just how you told me. See how small your circle get. But the ones stay with you when you down, those are your real friends. If they don't have an agenda, those are your real friends. And I'm going to leave y'all on that note. Y'all have a blessed one. God bless you. Just God bless you.